This movie describes how to use the activity sneaky sums, unknowns in a grid. Here we have a grid, and in each space we have one of 4 different symbols: a triangle, a circle, a hexagon, or a square, or we have nothing. The space is just blank. Each symbol has a secret value that's between 1 and 10. So, for instance, the triangle might have a value of 3, and every single triangle in my grid has that same value of 3. Our goal is to figure out the secret numerical value of each shape. So let's see how we might do that. In this example, I see that this row has 2 hexagons. I can show the sum of those 2 hexagons, the sum of their numerical values, by pressing Show Sum, and it tells me that the sum of hexagon plus hexagon is 6. Well, that suggests that the value of a single hexagon is 3. How can we use that information to figure out the values of other symbols in the grid? Well, let's look at this last row where we have 2 hexagons and a square. Let's show the sum of these 3 symbols. Again, I'll press the Show Sum button that sits alongside this row. When I do, I see that the value of these 3 shapes when added together is 12. Well, since the value of 2 hexagons is 6, and the value of 2 hexagons plus a square is 12, that suggests to me that the value of the square is 6. I can continue using this kind of logical reasoning to find the values of my other 2 shapes, the triangle and the circle. I might show the sum of this column here, the second column, by pressing the Show Sum button here. And I might also choose to show the sum of the third column by pressing this Show Sum button. When I'm done, and I think I know the value of all 4 shapes, I can press Show Answers, and it shows the values of the 4 shapes, and I can check if I got them correct. And if I want to play again, I simply press New Problem. New Problem gives me a different pattern of symbols, and it changes the values of my shapes. It's possible that 2 shapes or more could have the same value. Now we can also create a version of this to play on your own with a partner. So here again we have a grid, and we have the 4 shapes and their numerical values, and if I was playing this with you, you would turn away, and then I would type in new values for these shapes. So I might make circle equal to 3, triangle equal to 7, and so on. And when I'm done, I then press Hide Answers, and that hides the values, and now it's your job to find them. I can also choose what grid to give you. I can press New Symbols, and each time that gives me a different grid of symbols. This grid looks particularly challenging, so maybe I'd give that one to you to solve. So this explains how to use the activity Sneaky Sums.